different, okay, for your stamp art. So the small palette, if you flip it around, it's Angel Finger, Finger Angel, and then the other one, this one's got stuff all over it, but it's Beauty Big Bang. Both of them you can get on Amazon, okay, they're just different. This small square is cheaper, and the long one is higher quality. Not professional, but still higher quality. You have about 2 napkins. You have your color cube, which is your palette from some of you might be sharing, some of you might just have one palette on your tabletop. You have your black and or white regular nail polish. I let someone borrow my black and I didn't get it back. This is the gel one I have, but black or white regular nail polish. You have that on your tabletop. You have your stamper. You have pointed nail tips. You've already turned this one in. You have your gel brush. When you put your gel brush down, because of the diamond here, it always angles and touches the surface. Always make sure that it's capped, or always make it into a cross like that, so it's lifted up off of the table, because if not, it picks up lint and all kinds of stuff. You have your lamp, alcohol, and you have acetone. I gave you a scraper, and then you have a piece of napkin. Piece of tape. So let's take a little piece of tape. Take our piece of tape and we're going to roll it like so. Tape it together and put your finger through it. Take your stamper and you're going to pull off the caps. There's a small side of the stamper and there's a large side of the stamper. You're going to take your rolled up tape and you're going to, like a lint roller, you're going to roll the top surface of your stamper. This is something new I learned over the summer. Take it to the other side, turn it around, and do the same. If you ever come across the dollar store or anywhere other store and you find one of them little baby travel size lint rollers, get it, put it in your kit for this. Okay, this is how you clean, get nice and neat. If you put it up against the light, it's pretty transparent. This is not high quality, was not expensive. But there are some that are maybe about the diameter of this particular lid here. And they're crystal clear transparent. So when you stamp down, like so, you can see in here. Now I would have to take this off so I can see how you can see my finger here. But you can't really, if I put this on, you can't really see my finger very well then. Okay. So you can work with it different ways. You did get 2 extra replacements, a small one and a big one in your kit. So just FYI, okay? Alright, so that's how you clean it. In the past, I did not know, but in the past, we did, oh my god. We don't have time for this, y'all. For real. At least it's not that hot outside. Okay. The power legit went off because that's the emergency lights. We can do this because we did this last class period literally without the screen. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, so before I didn't know, so I learned. It sounds weird, right? Like I get tired, back on. Okay, so before I didn't know because I found this lady on the internet over the summer. She's amazing. But that's the technique I learned. Before I didn't know, and I would clean this with acetone, and y'all, acetone eats plastic. So over time, they get dull, they start to deteriorate, it gets very gummy, and then it's really sitting, like, this is sticky, but it gets like tacky sticky, like gum, and then it begins to crack, and they get balled up. So don't use acetone on this ever. Alcohol, you have to when you're using gel, okay? But I definitely would just stick to my tape. When you're using gel with this and you're rolling the tape, with the tape off, it's harder. You just use more tape, okay? But that's how you keep these clean. Okay, so the next thing is we are going to look at our scraper. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's look at our stamper. Our stamper, you use it one of 2 ways. You're going to stamp down and pick up, or at an angle, you stamp down, roll, and pick up. Remember when you're in elementary and you're doing stamps on a card, and you take the ink pad and you push down, but if you slightly move that stamp, you lift it up and it's messed up. It's the same concept. You cannot jiggle this any bit. I mean, it's got to down, up, or it's got to be rolled and picked up. Okay? That's how you use that. This is your stamper. Now let's take a look at your scraper. They're pink or black, either one, but and it's not new, I apologize, and it's probably got polish all over it because, students, no offense, but if it's not there, they don't care, right? That's just my experience. But if you will take your scraper, if you'll take your acetone, I gotta open mine because my pump doesn't work, but take your scraper, your napkin, get you some acetone, and this is plastic and metal, so it's not gonna mess it up. My little pump isn't working, so I've got to pour my acetone out. And so you're just gonna wrap it, and just give it a second, let it soak, let the product eat away the nail polish. Once it softens it up, then you can go in there and really scrape it and clean it. I apologize, I'm really dirty. But that's how students turn them back in. So, this is yours to keep. So please take it with you. And this is a scraper that you're going to use, that you need to use. Now, you can use the edge of something plastic, like a credit card, old debit card. You can use just something thin, hard, thin plastic. That works too. Does not matter. Okay? So, try to get in there as best as you can. Now, rule number 1 when you're doing stamp plates: no glitter. Period. No mica glitter, no chrome glitter, no chunky glitter, no mermaid glitter, no glitter, period. Does not work. Does not work. Okay? So you should now almost have a very nice clean stamper. It's plastic and it does have the metal edge on it. Now, some people don't like the metal edge because they feel like it scrapes metal against metal. It scrapes their palette or their plate. So it's just kind of preference situation going on there. All right, you're going to reload your napkin with a little bit more acetone. Now we're going to take our small stamp plate, place the stamp plate on the alcohol or acetone like so. Acetone or alcohol. Give the alcohol time to do what it does and eat away the polish. There goes the air. And then go back and forth. Circle, rotate, and clean it up. Now, it is laser engraved, so it will tear up your napkin, just FYI. Okay, it's messy. But once you have removed all of the polish, it should be nice and clean. You're going to do the same thing with the large one. Take your acetone on your napkin and let it soak, and then you're going to go back and forth. Now this one is higher quality, so it's not going to tear up your napkin as much. It will still, but not as much. Just because the stamping plate is the higher quality. So you always want to make sure to take care of your stuff. Always, always, always. And maybe if the back has got gunk all over it, you might want to give it a wipe too. Sometimes it gets sticky. But you always want to make sure your stuff is clean. Now, the back is not metal. The back is plastic. So acetone eats plastic. So which is why some of the words on these back bits are gone, and that's why it might feel weird. Because it's the acetone eating this. Okay? You must have a clean palette or plate. They call it it's a plate, but people call it palette. It must be clean. So, what else? That's it. Okay, I want you to imagine this. I want you to imagine this tape. Okay, I'm gonna put this on the tabletop like so. Okay, and I'm gonna pour sand into the hole. Right, this is engraved, it's got a hole. And there's a big heap of sand everywhere. I'm gonna take my ruler and I'm gonna go like this. The top is got not any more sand on it. It's clear sand, but there's still sand in the hole, right? It's just always the rim of the tape. That's the concept. That's what we're doing. Okay. you have a stamping plate. If you take a look at your stamping plate, there's designs that are engraved. So there's a hole in the design. The design is a hole. Okay? We're going to fill the hole. We're going to scrape off the excess, and we're going to transfer the design from our plate to our nail. Okay? So, here we go. We're going to start with the small one first. Okay? And we are going to use our either white or black nail polish. Now, when we're starting with our black or white nail polish, I don't have black, so I have to use white, but you use whatever color that you choose. Okay, so it's not going to work your first time. You're going to literally do this and then put it on the nail and be like, what happened? Nothing happened. And I'm going to teach you why. We've got to prepare a table to make sure we are ready because you have to work fast. So let's take our napkin. We're going to open up our napkin. We're going to start with the small square palette or plate. We're going to open up our stamper. We're going to open up our stamper to the big side. We're going to open up our nail polish. Now, nail polish. We do not shake nail polish like this like we used to. You don't even hear the beads in there anymore. The way that we shake nail polish is you turn it upside down, you put it between your palms, and you do this. And that's my ring and what you hear, but that's what you do. That's how you shake polish. You don't do this. Grandma does that. Okay. When you do this, you make bubbles in your product. So let it seep back down to the bottom. Let it drip. And then you're going to open. Now, anytime that you cannot open, you put a rubber band around here, get good grip, and then open up your polish. If it's ever stuck, it's because the rim of the bottle is dirty, as you can see there. Okay. All right, so we have our, if you're right-handed, everything goes on your right hand. If you're left, your left hand. Our stamper. First, we're going to use our polish. Then we're going to use our stamper. And then we're going to use our scraper. And in my hand, in your whatever hand, you're going to have your nail tip, and this is, you got to go. You got to work fast. Here's the process. I'm going to take polish. First of all, pick whatever design you want. I'm going to do this leaf. Right here. You pick whatever you want. I'm going to take my polish. I'm going to apply, make sure I fill all the holes. Very quick. Oh, sorry, it's wrong order. Very quickly, I'm going to scrape. When I scrape, I'm going to go like this downward. And then I'm going to wipe on my napkin. I'm going to wipe my blade so that way I don't, it's clean, right? Scrape it. I'm going to drop it off where it's at. I'm going to pick up my stamper. And I'm either going to stamp down and pick up, or I'm going to roll, pick up, and immediately roll, drop off. And you have 2 seconds. Okay? Ready? Get your stuff in order. Polish, scraper, stamper. Nail tip in your hand. You have capped your polish. Okay? Ready? You got plenty of space to scrape and to wipe off your stamping, your plate, your scraper. Ready? Here we go. Pick up polish. Very quickly, drop off polish. Jam it in there. Make sure you cover every hole, nook, and cranny of your design. Apply, 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 apply. Cap your polish. Ready, quickly, scrape. Scrape twice if you have to. Take your stamper, stamp down, pick up, stamp down, drop off. Okay? It's quick, 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 quick. It either worked, it half worked, or nothing happened. By the looks on your face, nothing happened, and that's okay. Usually nothing does happen. Mine didn't. I took too long. My design, you can't, let me see. It looks more like a heart than a Hawaii leaf. Okay? So, what you're going to do, you try it again. You take your tape, and you're going to run your tape over your stamper to pick up any dried up polish. Okay? Have it ready. You're going to take your remover, and you're going to remove any polish on your blade of your scraper or the edge of your scraper, because once it dries it gets chunky and that doesn't work very good. Then you're going to either pick a different design or you're going to remove the polish off of that design. Let it soak, get in there. You got to really clean it. If there's any polish in there, it's not going to work, because if the polish is in there, it's dried, the hole is already full. Therefore, you cannot put new product in there, therefore it's not going to come out. Okay, I like to just, when I'm practicing, I just move on to my next design. Because I don't have time to mess with it, but that's totally up to you. Your nail tip, you can very lightly go over it and the design will come off. It's plastic, so the acetone will eat it, but just for the purpose of practicing, it's not a big deal. Take a little bit of remover and then just wipe the nail and it'll come off. It'll get slightly gummy and lighter in color, but just whatever, it's fine. So you can reuse a nail tip. You're not going to turn this in today, it's just for practice. Okay? You're going to try again. You're going to try until you can get a decent design on your nail that you have transferred. So you're going to take your polish, you're going to apply to the design, whatever design you want. Make sure there's plenty of product in there. Swipe, 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 swipe. Make sure that you have applied and there is every nook and cranny of that design is soaked. You're going to take your scraper. You're going to scrape and wipe off on your napkin very quickly. Stamp down, pick up, and stamp down on your nail tip and pick up. It's stressful. Yes, it is stressful. And it doesn't work. Okay? And the reason why it doesn't work is because of the following. So, keep doing it again. Just go over and over again. Just let me in here as you're working. Here is why it's not working. Here's why it's not working. First of all, and I say this kindly, you're too slow. It's got to be fast. The reason why it's got to be fast is because it is a very thin layer of nail polish that you end up with after you scrape. So, it dries super fast. So if you're slow, just by breathing over it or the coldness in the air, it already dried up. So it dried up in your plate. And you can scrape and you can stamp all day long, but it's already dried up. Second, look up. If you're in the direction of the vent and the air is hitting your station, it's not going to work because it's blowing cold air. Unless if it's a heater, but it's blowing cold air onto your tabletop, so it's not going to work. So anytime that you are looking at where am I going to put my station, you want to make sure that you look up, see where the air is, and get away from it. You can be directly under it if it's like this particular kind of vent, because the air gets pushed to the side. But if it's like a fan, okay. Another reason, your nail polish is old, it's runny, it's cheap. Those polishes don't work. Regular nail polish, as soon as the air hits it, it dries. So if you, did it come out of the it came out? You're like, okay, someone was watching you guys. Okay, so cheap nail polish, if you pay cheap for it, it turns out cheap. Okay, it won't work. Good nail polishes, they work fairly well. Here's another reason why it doesn't work. Okay, besides you're a little bit slower to start off, obviously we all are. Baby jumpers will get more and pop out and start running, right? The nail polish, the air, temperature in the room, also the quality in your plate. So, if you've been working with your small plate, great. Now move to the long one. This is a better quality. So, therefore, the laser engraving is a better engraving. So, when your engraving is better, okay, your results are going to be better. that's just how it's going to look. Okay? So, as you're doing this, try different stamping plates. Now, neither one of these are professional. Like the cheapy Amazon is a little square one, and the little higher up is a rectangular one, but none of these are professional grade. Plus, these are just sheet metal, so it's not doing anything worse. Okay. Why else does it not work? Your scraper is dirty. So when you've got dried up polish on the scraper, it's bumpy. And so when it's bumpy and you go and you scrape, you're not scraping with a straight surface. You're scraping some, but not all. It'll be really streaky. So you always have to make sure your scraper is nice and clean, so you have a smooth surface each time. Another reason why it will not work. When you are done with doing one pass and you're like, man, it didn't work, I'm going to do it again, I'm going to use the same exact design. If your design is got polish on it, the hole is already full. So when you go back in and put more polish on there, it's not gonna work because the polish is already the hole is full.
9:30 ADA attendance reminder.
So there's no way that you're gonna be able to have, fresh product to fill that hole of the design. No, not yet. Frustrating. Alright. You can use the wide side of the stamper, you can use the small side of the stamper, but isn't it frustrating? It's not coming out. You're like, what the heck? Okay. Pause where you're at, or finish where you're at. Somebody came up with this idea and they're like, clean your stuff, clean it down, wipe it down. Somebody came up with it and they were like, goodness gracious, this is ridiculous. I'm sitting here in front of my client, I'm looking crazy, it's not working, I need it to work, okay. Somebody said, you know what? I wonder if this would work with gel. So tomorrow you're going to work with a product specifically made, a gel product specifically made for transfers from plates. Today we're going to work with just regular gel. Okay? Oh, that's secondary. I did not pull you through it, but you'll be there for it. You guys sign up for it, so yes. You will already be there for it. Oh, because I didn't do it. Okay, so make sure everything is nice and clean. It's gotta be clean. If it's not clean, it doesn't work. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to use our cube. Now remember when I said rule number 1 is that it does not work with glitter. So don't even try to work with glitter because it don't work. Glitter is small little bits and pieces of plastic, and because it's not liquid, it does not mold into the holes of the design, therefore it does not work. It never works. Okay, so glitter cannot be used with this. So don't pick anything glitter. Pick something different. If you don't have a nail tip, just go ahead and get you some acetone and just wipe down your design. It's fine. It's going to turn your nail a little bit opaque and it's going to mess it up a little bit, but it's fine for what we need it for today. Again, you're just going to throw it away right after we're done. You're not going to keep it. Gets a little sticky, but let it dry and it'll be just fine. Alright, so we're going to get our things ready. Okay? Right side, right-handed, left side, left-handed. Here's my palette. Here's my napkin. Here's my stamping plate. I'm going to pick my design. Okay, I know which one I'm going to do. Okay, I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to then scrape, and then I'm going to use my stamper, and I've got my nail in my hand. I'm going to take my gel brush and I'm going to pick up my product. I don't need a lot, just a little. And I'm going to pick up product and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to push and I'm going to paint over my plate. Now, what does gel polish not do that regular polish does do? Gel polish does not what? Dry. So you can take your happy little time with the application. So I'm going to go ahead and just push, and I'm sweeping in all directions to make sure that I fully cover every bit of my nooks and crannies. I'm going to put my brush to the side. I don't want it to touch the surface of the table, so I'm going to make a cross over the top of my lid. Process is still the same though. I can be under the air, I can be breathing on it, I can sit and stop and chit chat, and come back to it, and it's fine. I'm going to take my scraper, it's still the same process. I'm going to scrape, and I'm going to wipe my scraper on my napkin so that I can help myself and have less mess to clean up. I can scrape multiple times, and still, it's not going to dry yet. Now again, like a stamp in first grade, you got to pick it up, drop it off, don't move it. You're either going to come straight down and pick up. I like the rock and roll method. I just feel like, I don't know, it just feels a little bit better. So you're going to come in, you're going to rock, push down, you're going to roll, and now you're going to see that it's on your pad. Yeah? And then you're going to decide where on the nail you're going to drop that off. So I'm going to rock and roll it. And when I rock and roll it, I got to make sure not to move my stamp pad till I'm done with my design. And voila, there we go. Okay. And that's it. Did it work? I see a lot of heads shaking. Now, there's a lot going on top of your table. Do not use your lamp on top of your table. Take your nail stick to the bottom of the table and cure it for 60 seconds. Take a look at your watch to make sure you've got a 60-second cure time. Make sure to do it under the table. Do not cure above the table. There's too much going on. Now, just like a stamp, if you move or slide the stamp over ever so slightly, it ruins your design. You gotta push down and pick up, or you gotta roll and pick up, but you cannot slightly move it. It'll get messed up. 60 seconds on the clock. I forgot when I started, so I'm going to stop at the 2 and it'll be just fine. I think I started at the 2. So, this is when you tell your client, so, how's it been? How's the family? How's work going? You make it all about them. Now, what happens if I cure the gel in my plate? Bad, right? How do you get it out? It's hard in there. You got to soak it in acetone, and then it messes up your plate because the backing, the plastic will get messed up. So never put your light on your gel in your plate. This is old technology polish or gel. So we have the sticky inhibition layer that we're going to take a little bit of our napkin and we're going, oh man, I got acetone. You need alcohol, I'm sorry. Alcohol. The alcohol is going to get rid of the sticky inhibition layer. So get a little bit of alcohol. If you use acetone, the whole thing's going to come off. Use a little bit of alcohol. And rub over. And then there's no more sticky on the nail. And there you have it. That is how you do a transfer, but with your stamp. It is called stamp art. It's really neat. It's really cool. They sell these stamps, stamp plates with tons of different designs. different, some of y'all have a Christmas one, there's a unicorn one out there. There's all kinds of different designs. Make sure that you clean both of your stamp plates very good. You want to make sure to take your brush and you're going to fold the brush inside the napkin with the brush inside and just kind of pull the brush out. You do not want to use acetone on the brush. Use alcohol. Do not use acetone on your brush. Acetone over time will eat your bristles and ruin your brush. When the brush dries up, you can cap it and put your lid on. You're going to clean your scraper as well. Make sure it's nice and clean. Nothing on that edge. You're going to take your stamper and you're going to roll it. Now remember, it's gel, so it's going to take a little bit more because it's wet to roll it off. Should you need to, I don't love it, but you can use alcohol on it, but I'd rather just use a lot of tape. Now tomorrow we're going to continue with our stamp plates and our stamping technique, but you're going to use product that was designed specifically for this technique. The brush, yes. Is anyone going to reboot today? That is all that I have for you for today. Make sure anytime you aren't using your palette that you close it so that lint and stuff doesn't get on it. If you want to continue playing with it while we are in reboot, you are more than welcome to. I got a few emails I got to answer to, so I'm just going to be at the desk needing to take care of those things. If you need anything, please let me know. Questions about anything from anyone? You're welcome to do what you need to do. I'm waiting for the shipment of alcohol to come in, so as soon as that comes in, you guys will have alcohol. But if you're out of acetone, I have acetone. That I do have. Alright, put some music on, leave you alone.